So far we have done fundamental quantities and derived quantities and fundamental units and derived units in SI system. So in SI system, the International System of Units, there are 7 base quantities or fundamental quantities: length, mass, time, electric current, temperature, luminous intensity, and an amount of substance. These 7 are taken as fundamental or base quantities. Plane angle and solid angle, these two are supplementary quantities. And the units of these 7 quantities in SI system is meter for length, mass in kilogram, time seconds, electric current ampere, temperature Kelvin, luminous intensity candela, amount of substances mole. Now I will tell you how to write dimensions and what the dimensions are. So we are saying that these 7 are fundamental quantities. It means whenever I write any other quantity which is derived, so all these quantities will come in the expression of that derived quantity. For example, let us take speed. So how we define speed as? It is distance upon time. Distance covered per unit time, that is speed. So speed is a derived quantity because it has been derived from 2 fundamental quantities. Distance and time means length and time. So speed is derived and fundamental and time they are distance and time they are fundamental. So it means all the derived units basically can be written like this in terms of fundamental quantities. Take some other quantity, say for example acceleration. It is actually change in velocity upon time interval. Velocity can again be written as displacement upon time and then upon time. So here again we have displacement upon time, time. So again we are getting distance, time, time. So these quantities are derived quantity. Now whenever I write the quantity speed now, so speed is distance into time minus 1. I can write like this. These powers, they are called dimensions. So how can we define dimensions? Dimensions are the exponents or the powers of fundamental quantities that occur in writing a given quantity. So the powers of fundamental quantities in the given derived quantity are called the dimensions. So I will say 1 in length and minus 1 in time. These are the dimensions for speed, 1 in length and minus 1 in time. Now in order to make it convenient, actually we use symbols. So for all these 7, when we are writing the dimensions, we will use symbols now. Length, we use capital L. For mass, we use M. Time, we use T. Ampere, A or I. Temperature, K. Luminous intensity, CD. And amount of substance, we use MOL, mole. So these are the symbols that will be used in writing the dimensions. So again, come back to the same quantity which we were talking about, speed. It is distance upon time. So distance can be written as L, time can be written as T. So it becomes LT minus 1. So it can be written as LT minus 1. But if I write v is equal to Lt minus. It gives an impression as if the value of velocity is Lt minus 1, velocity or speed. But it is not correct. Actually, when I am writing it, I want to tell that the dimensions for speed are Lt minus 1. So we use this square bracket. Now it is not read as v is equal to L minus 1. We will take it dimensions of v are 1 in length minus 1 in time, and Lt minus 1 is the dimensional formula for speed. So Lt minus 1 is dimensional formula for it, and this is the expression, dimensional expression. So we will use these brackets, square brackets, to write the dimensional formula of any quantity, because otherwise it gives an impression v is equal to Lt minus 1 or f is equal to mlt minus 2. It gives an impression as if the value of force is this, the value of speed, but it is actually not correct, right? So for dimensions we shall be using this. V is equal to we may have any value, magnitude, units, but the dimensions are 1 in length minus 1 in time. It will not also depend on the system of units, whether we are taking SI or you are taking any other system. The dimensions will remain same. The value, numerical value, will depend on the system of units. So just as we have done for velocity or speed, we can find the dimension of any quantity. We just want to have an expression for that. For example, force is mass into acceleration. Acceleration can be written in terms of velocity. Further, whenever we are writing velocity, so whether it is velocity, whether it is change in velocity, instantaneous velocity or average velocity, all will be taken as same, because we are talking about the units only. So if speed has been taken in meter per second, velocity has been taken in meter per second, then even the change in velocity will be meter per second, whether it is average velocity or it is the instantaneous velocity. The units will remain same because they will be measured in the same units and dimensions. Okay, so dimensional formula and dimensions, this is how we can find out. Now, few applications of this method. The first one, which is very, very important and will enable you to apply this, principle of dimensional homogeneity. Principle of dimensional homogeneity. The term itself makes it clear. Homogeneous means same. Actually, it means that if you have an expression like this, or, then all these terms, all these quantities will have the same dimensions. It makes sense actually. If I ask you, your weight is 40 kg and your height is 6 feet, find out the sum, then it doesn't make any sense actually. You can add quantities of similar nature. Mass can be added to mass, length can be added to length. You can never add mass to length or mass to time. So this principle says that if you are adding or subtracting, taking the sum or the difference of quantities, they should have the same dimensions, and the resultant that you get should also have the same dimension. So for any equation actually, in any given equation, left hand side and right hand side will have the same dimensions, right? So if I am writing F is equal to A plus BT, and F is force, so it means A should also have the dimensions of force, and BT collectively, product, should have the dimensions of force. Force added to force will be force. So dimensionally we will write M L T minus 2 it will be equal to MLT minus 2, and the last term also MLT minus 2. Again, keep in mind, when I am writing these brackets, this simply tells that the dimensions of this term, this, dimensions of this. So these are the dimensional formulae for these three quantity. It doesn't mean that this is equal to this plus this, so it should be 2 times. I mean, if I am using, say again, same expression, y is equal to a plus b, and if all these three are lengths, then dimensionally I will write it like this. I will not say L plus L is equal to 2L, because this bracket simply means that the first term has this dimensional formula, second term has this dimensional formula, and the resultant has this dimensional formula, and dimensions should be same. So it will be L, L, and L. This we call as the principle of dimensional homogeneity. We can also use the dimensional method for changing the quantities from one system of units to another system of units. See now how. Any quantity I can write it, say 10 meter per second. So it has two parts. This is the numerical and this is the unit. This is the unit part and this is the numeric part. Now this quantity remains as such. 10 meter per second, whatever this is, if I convert it into kilometer per hour or convert it into centimeter per second, the actual length of the path covered in unit time will be same in whatever system of units I convert it. Another system, say I take 10 centimeters. So if 10 centimeter is, say, for example, this length. So this length will remain same whether I take it in centimeters or take in meters, kilometers, or any unit of length. The only thing that changes is when I change the unit, this numeric value will also change. But the quantity as such, this length will remain this much only. So now, if N1 U1 is the quantity expressed in any system, just like 10 centimeter or 10 meter per second, then I change it to some other unit. Then numerical value will also change. Now this can be used to convert a quantity into other. N2 will be N1 U1 by U2. U1 the units in the first system, U2 in the second system in which we are converting. If I take one example, that will be much simpler. For example, let us take density of water. It is 10 raised to the power 3 kilogram per cubic meter. Convert it into CGS units. CGS means length in centimeter, mass in grams, and time in seconds. So N2, it will be equal to N1, 10 raised to the power 3. And now this I can write it like N1 M1 upon M2 power A, L1 upon L2 power B, T1 upon T2 power C. We don't know the values of A and B and C, so that's why I'm writing just ABC. First system of units, second system of M2, L2, T2. Powers not known, it depends on the quantity. So now we have this. First unit which is given, kilogram, the unit in which we are to convert, grams. And what is the power? 1. Length, meter. Second, centimeter. And what is the power? -3. There is no time because that remains same. 10 raised to the power. Now the next step is convert them into same system. 100 centimeter upon 100 centimeter minus 3. So what it becomes? 10 raised to the power 3. 10 raised to the power 3 into 1 upon 100, 100 and 200. So it is just 1. So 10 raised to the power 3 kilogram per cubic meter becomes 1 gram per cubic centimeter. So this is how one quantity can be converted to another using the method of dimensions. So one, the principle of dimensional homogeneity can be used to find out the dimensions of different terms in a given expression. And then here we have used it to convert the quantities from one system of units to another system of units. One more application we may try when we have to find a relation amongst the given quantities using the method of dimensions. Again, we will start with an example only. If I say time period of a simple pendulum depends on the length of the pendulum and gravitational acceleration. So time period depending on the length and gravitational acceleration, find out an expression for time period. So time period, it is given depending on the length and acceleration. We don't know the powers, so let it be A and B. We don't know the powers, to what powers of length t depends, and again the same for g also. We don't know the power, so let it be A and B. And now again make use of the principle of dimensional homogeneity. I can write it t is equal to k L A G B, where k is dimensional less constant. No dimensions for this constant because I have included it myself. T is depending only on these two quantities which have dimensions. So it can be any number. We don't know. Now next step, apply the principle of dimensional homogeneity, which says that left hand side and right hand side should have the same dimensions. Let me write the dimensional formula now. In writing the dimensional formula, I will not write k because it has no dimensions. So dimensional formula for t is t. For L, L power a. Acceleration LT minus 2 power is b. So it becomes t is equal to L a plus b and t minus 2b. Compare the powers of like terms. Both the sides should have the same dimensions. Dimensions of length on right hand side is a plus b, left hand side 0. Minus 2b, dimensions of time, left hand side 1. If we solve it, we will get b as minus half, a is half. So what is the expression for time then? It becomes k under root L by g. This is the expression for time period. Though this is the limitation of this method, that it doesn't tell us about this constant. So it only tells about the quantities which have dimensions. Silent about the constant. So that's all. We can use the method of dimensions to convert quantities from one unit to other, to find out an expression and to find out dimensions of various terms in a given expression. Practice as much as you can, and that's it. Thank you.